Fellas, you got to give yourself the time to start noticing some of the bigger benefits of being on nofap. 1 week ain't enough. I see a lot of comments under my nofap videos of guys saying, oh, it's been 3 days, I haven't noticed anything, this is bullshit. I'm like, 3 days? What's wrong with you? That ain't enough time. You don't go to the gym for 3 days and look in the mirror and say, hang on a second, I've been scammed. I want my money back. I thought I'd see abs by now. No, that's not how it works. Think about it just for a second. You've been watching porn for a decade, 10 years, maybe 15, maybe 20 years. And you've done so much damage to yourself in that time. You're not just going to quit in 3 days. You're not going to suddenly start seeing the benefits of being on nofap within 3 days. No, you're still a porn addict. Right? It's good that you can go 3 days, especially if if you've been doing it every day. Reducing the frequency is still progress. It's still success. However, some of the bigger benefits will start to arrive at a later date. Those benefits will compound later on. Straight away, you're not going to see them. You're going to think, hang on a second, this nofap thing is bullshit. Let me just go back to busting nuts all over myself, 25 tabs open. No, you can't give up that quickly. You need to first of all acknowledge that porn is doing a lot of damage to you, because it is. It fucking is. You're looking at pixelated content, hours a day, playing around with yourself. It's not good. You need to recognize that it's not good. That's the first step. But then from that point onwards, it's hard. I didn't say it was easy. It's difficult being on nofap, especially the first week. Right? I mean, you're going to feel like you're on edge and you might be in a bad mood because you're so released to relieving stress by busting one to a bunch of porn. But now that's not going to be an outlet anymore. So you're going to be frustrated. Now, a lot of guys cave in that point, in that moment, and think, well, you know what? Fuck this shit. I can't do this anymore. Well, then you're weak. You got to try. Actually try, especially if you're frustrated with how it's making you feel. If you're sick and tired of being a porn addict, if you don't like how it affects your mind, you can't seem to make decisions properly, you can't seem to stick to things long enough. I mean, sometimes you got to remind yourself of the consequences. It will ruin your relationship with a woman in the future, because you might not be able to get it up because you're so used to a specific scene when you watch porn, and that's how you get up normally, and now she's in front of you, she's naked, she's beautiful, but you can't seem to get it up. That's a problem. Or you might get premature ejaculation as a result of pornography, watching pornography. So too much excitement, boom, 30 seconds in, you're done. And she's going to look at you and think, hang on a second, this is fucking stupid. It's going to cause problems, it will. So sometimes you've got to remind yourself of the damage it will do if you continue. People are motivated in different ways. Some guys are motivated by the fear of what could happen if they continue engaging in this bad habit. Some are just motivated by the positive impacts that will come. And the positive impacts will come, right? But a little bit later on, not straight away. After 30 days has gone by, you'll notice a tremendous improvement in your clarity and your decision-making ability, and in your ability to stick to something. I don't know about you guys, but when you're watching quite a lot of explicit content, you're not able to start projects and stick to them. You're just constantly everywhere. You start something, you mess about with it for a while, then you move on to something else. So your ability to see something through is going to improve drastically, which will lead to other benefits. You'll make a lot more money in the process. I mean, things will just start happening for you. Because the issue with porn is once you watch a lot of porn and then you relapse, you feel bad. You feel bad, you feel like a piece of shit. And when you feel like a piece of shit, you don't want to work hard, do you? You just want to lay in bed and just talk crap to yourself because you don't feel like you deserve success. And how am I going to deserve success, man? I'm a fucking wanker, sad wanker, right? You don't feel empowered, do you? But when you go out there and you chase excellence and you secure deals and you feel better about yourself, and when you feel better about yourself, you want to take more action. And when you take more action, and I spoke about this before, the triangle, action leads to results, which leads to more belief, which leads to more action. And there you go. You've got momentum now. Now you can obliterate anything in your path. Right? Those major changes, those major improvements come later on. Even the aura, your aura, you know, people noticing you and women turning around and looking at you and who is this guy? You know, that comes later on. That doesn't come after 3 days. I'm giving you a realistic outlook on what being on nofap really is. You're not going to suddenly stop. You're not going to stop wanking for one day and now everybody's attracted to you and you're getting shit done. It doesn't work this way. Obviously, every day is important. And one day will lead to 2 days, 3 days, and then before you know it, 30 days, and the improvements will increase. Are you going to get tempted from time to time? Absolutely. We live in a world where there's soft pornography everywhere. Instagram, TikTok. Something might trigger you. And I actually spoke about this to a guy on a coaching call the other day. He had a good run and then he relapsed. And I told him, you know, something triggered that. You know, what is the trigger? You know, were you laying in bed all day? If that was the case, work from a cafe. Get out the house. Something will trigger you to relapse. And you need to identify it. But you have to be patient, fellas. And you have to remind yourself of why you are on nofap. Because you don't want to be a guy who resorts to self-pleasure. That's not the guy that you are. You're going to change the way you see yourself. No. If I want to experience sexual pleasure, I will do so with a woman, a beautiful woman that I'm attracted to. I'm going to keep my hands away from myself. Because it all starts with your ability to discipline your sexual energy. If you can't discipline your sexual energy, you're a fucking animal. You're no different to a fucking chimp. What makes human beings powerful is we're able to decide not to do certain things. We're able to evaluate consequences and think, you know what, this is going to damage me in the long run. I don't want to do it. Now, I know someone's going to say, well, Ali, you know, being horny is natural. It is. I never said it wasn't. But self-pleasuring, and even self-pleasuring, some would say, oh, it's natural. Yeah, the desire to self-pleasure is natural. I'm with you on that. But there's a lot of articles and propaganda that's generated by these pornographic companies to make you feel like, oh, there's nothing wrong with it. You know, the reason you're seeing these articles is because these porn companies are paying billions of dollars to pump that content out to make you feel like, no, there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, I saw an article on Reddit once, and the article was all about how wanking is normal and this and that. And there was thousands of guys commenting saying, yeah, I do it twice a day and it makes me feel better about myself. And I'm like, really? The thing is, it's never something that people do solo, as in just wanking. No, it's always something that you couple with pornography. And that's where the damage is in the long run. You don't look at a fucking blank wall. No, you're watching content with it. And that content is dark. It's a very exploitative industry. And you don't feel empowered. This is the thing. This is all I have to say to people who think, oh no, it's okay. Do you feel empowered after engaging in it? Do you feel like I'm a better version of myself and or do you feel ashamed? Now, let me ask you another question. If you've had sex with a beautiful woman that you're in a relationship with, how do you feel afterwards? Do you feel ashamed? Do you feel down and deflated? No. If anything, you feel like, yeah, I'm the boss. We both had a nice session, right? I pleased her, she pleased me. So that's the thing. Ejaculation is not the problem. The problem is you engaging in self-pleasure with hours of pornography that could be put into your business, that could be invested in you, time with your family. Right? And for a lot of guys, it's very dark. There's guys that I've spoken to who have stored terabytes of pornography on their computer. And it's just not healthy. When you zoom out and you look at it, you think, hang on a second, this is actually dreadful for me. This is awful. This is consuming my life. If I don't do something about it, it's going to further dig a deeper hole for me. And it feels so freeing to not feel like you're a victim of pornography. You know, getting it off your shoulders. Now it's no longer something that's lingering around. And now you have that self-control back. Because you can. As a human being, if I told you, if I attached a device down there, Explosive device. And I told you, hey, if you touch the device will explode and you'll lose everything. Will you do it? And the answer is probably no. When the consequence is big enough, you're going to be like, actually, nah, I don't want to fucking risk losing my Johnson. Right? So the thing is, you can, but you just don't see the importance of doing it thus far. And remember, I don't want you guys to be one of those goofballs who does nofap forever. No. I want you to be in a relationship with a beautiful woman and have a fucking fulfilling sex life, man. We're men. We want to fuck. So I'm not like these other guys on nofap who tell you, no, I'm going to retain all forever. You know, nah, man. That's not what it is. It's just staying away from pornography and masturbation because there's no need to do that. And especially not whilst you have a beautiful woman by your side. I mean, there's guys that watch porn and are still addicted to it and masturbation whilst they have a beautiful woman in their life. Right? So, listen, man, you got to be patient. Those big benefits will come, but they're not going to come in 3 days and 4 days and 5 days. They will arrive. I should stop saying they will come, okay? Because I sound like Kamala Harris now. Don't come. Have you seen that Donald Trump when he says, I'm gonna come? Right, but those benefits will arrive later on. They will surely arrive. Okay, and some of you guys will comment down below and you'll tell the other guys in here how you noticed major differences after 3 months, 4 months, okay? It's less anxiety. This cloud of pornography isn't following you everywhere, man. You don't feel like a sad wanker everywhere you go. You can look at yourself in the mirror. You can look at your own eyes. Right? Everything improves, man. But you can't expect major differences in 3 days. Thanks for watching this video, fellas. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give it a like, comment, let me know what you think down below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. See you in the next one.